Welcome to Book by Book. So let's talk about something I think a lot of us feel. That exhaustion. Trying to sell or just connect in today's world, sending out, I don't know, hundreds of emails.
Yeah, emails that just vanish. Poof.
Hmm.
Into the spam folder or just ignored.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Or making those cold calls that you just dread picking up the phone for.
Mhm.
And then when you try to reach someone really important, a high-level decision maker, it feels like hitting a wall, like a really solid brick wall.
An insurmountable divide, yeah. It's a good way to put it. We've all been there. You're targeting a CEO, maybe a major founder, a real VIP.
Right. And you do all the things, send the LinkedIn request, follow up, carefully craft that email, and what do you get?
Silence. Crickets. Or worse, you get that polite but firm no from their gatekeeper, their assistant, who's incredibly good at protecting their boss's time.
It feels like you're just completely shut out.
And that feeling, that specific frustration, is exactly what the author we're looking at today tackles head on. We're diving into Stu Heineke's book, How to Get a Meeting with Anyone, the untapped selling power of contact marketing.
Stu Heineke.
Yeah.
Now, his background is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wasn't always in marketing.
Not at all. He started out as a top cartoonist, Wall Street Journal, other big publications, and he took that mindset, that need to grab attention instantly with a single powerful image.
And brought it into sales and marketing. That's the unique angle.
Precisely. And the results he talks about, well, they sound almost unbelievable at first. Response rates that most sales pros would just laugh at, frankly.
But he lays it all out. The book, it's not some dense academic theory. It feels more like getting advice from a mentor,
Yeah, a really practical guide. It's designed to make you ditch those old mass marketing ideas, the whole just spray and pray approach.
The volume game.
Right. And instead, focus on creating these ultra customized, micro-targeted campaigns that actually get you in the door. Real results.
Okay, so let's unpack the big idea here. The core problem he identifies.
It's pretty simple, really. Most traditional sales, it's all based on volume, numbers, odds.
Cast the widest net possible, see what you catch.
Exactly. And hope something sticks. But that scattergun approach, it's almost guaranteed to fail when you're dealing with top executives. Their time is gold, it's guarded.
They have defenses built up against that kind of generic outreach. Layers of defenses.
For sure. So the solution he proposes, the core thesis, is something he calls contact marketing.
Contact marketing? Okay, what makes that different?
Well, it's really a discipline. It's about systematically creating these tiny, super personalized outreach campaigns aimed at one specific VIP. It's not about generating thousands of leads. It's about creating one crucial connection.
Okay, so not mass communication, but targeted connection.
Exactly. And the key difference, especially now with all the digital noise, is the human element. Heineke argues that things like genuine emotion, surprise, showing respect, delivering real value up front. That's the currency that actually cuts through.
Not just another email asking for their time.
No way! His core message is pretty radical, actually, he says. Stop asking for permission to get a meeting. Just stop.
Okay. So what do you do instead?
You create a reason for them to meet you. A reason so compelling, so unique, so obviously tied to their world and their challenges, that asking for permission becomes kind of irrelevant.
Wow. So you basically earn the meeting through the sheer creativity and thoughtfulness of how you approach them.
That's it. You make the approach itself valuable.
That really reframes the whole thing. It goes from being a numbers game to more like an art, a strategy.
An art and a science, yeah.
All right, this sounds powerful. How do we actually do this? Heineke breaks it down right into pillars.
Yep. He lays out 6 key pillars of contact marketing. And the first one, honestly, is maybe the most critical. It's all about selecting the right target.
Okay, the right target. Seems obvious, but what does he mean specifically?
Well, it means getting really disciplined. Most sales teams, they track outreach by, how many calls were made, how many emails sent.
Activity metrics.
Right. Heineke says, forget that. We need to shift from outreach by numbers to outreach by impact, strategic impact. That means aiming only for those few individuals, the ones who can genuinely, significantly slide the needle for your business.
Slide the needle. I like that. So not just anyone who might buy, but the specific person who could change everything.
Exactly. Often it's just a handful of people, maybe globally.
He uses that analogy, doesn't he? The sharpshooter versus the shotgun.
Yeah, it's perfect. We feel productive firing that shotgun, right? Spraying pellets everywhere, even if almost all of them miss.
Feels busy.
But contact marketing, it demands the discipline of a sharpshooter. You load one bullet, a custom-designed high-impact bullet, and you make absolutely sure it lands exactly where it needs to, right in the hands of that key decision maker.
Okay, but does this actually work? I mean, it sounds great, but
He gives a great example from his own experience. Early on, this is what really cemented the approach for him. He identified just 24 vice presidents in publishing. Those were the people who mattered for what he was doing then.
okay, 24 people, that's a small list.
Tiny list. And he spent, get this, about $100 on materials. Mostly personalized, framed cartoon.
Cartoons. Okay, playing to his strength.
Totally. But they weren't generic. Each one referenced the specific VP's role, maybe a challenge their company was facing, something personal.
And the result?
A 100% response rate.
Wait, 100%. Every single one responded.
Every single one. For about $100.
That's insane. I mean, the ROI is astronomical just in terms of getting attention.
It is. But it's not just the money, it's the effort ROI. He put in the time for that hyper-personalization. And that immediately signals deep respect. It wasn't just another name on a list. It was a tailored piece of communication, almost a gift.
Right. It forces you to really think, who actually holds the power here? Who has the influence? If you're going to go to all this creative trouble.
You can only afford to do it for the people who truly, truly matter. Which leads us right into the second lesson, the second pillar.
Okay, what's next?
It's a fundamental shift in thinking. Create value first, not ask first.
Ah, okay. This feels like where a lot of traditional sales thinking breaks down. We're so conditioned to ask, right, can I have 15 minutes? Can we schedule a call?
Exactly. And if your very first touch point is basically asking them to give you something their time, you've immediately positioned yourself as a taker, not a giver.
And VIPs don't have time for takers.
Not usually, no. So Heineke says you must approach with clear, undeniable value first. You have to ask yourself, what can I give this specific person that makes them pause, pay attention, and actually want to engage?
And we're not just talking about sending a link to a generic white paper or a blog post.
No, that's not it. It has to be personalized value, customized, something that shows you've done your homework on them.
This is where he introduces that concept of hold-back devices, right?
Yes, the holdback device. It's not just a gift like, sending some branded swag. It's more strategic than that.
Okay. Divine strategic.
It's a bespoke object or a visual or maybe even a metaphorical thing designed specifically to grab attention instantly. It has to signal that you understand their world, their specific challenges or interests.
And the holdback part, does that mean you hold something back?
Kind of. The idea is that the device itself is so intriguing or the value proposition hinted at is so compelling that they feel they need to contact you to get the rest of the story or the full solution. It also triggers reciprocity.
Reciprocity. The psychological principle. If someone gives you something thoughtful, you feel a pull to give something back.
Exactly. Think about it like being a dinner guest. Do you show up empty-handed and immediately ask the host to borrow their lawnmower?
No. Bad form.
Right. Or do you show up with a carefully chosen bottle of wine, maybe something you know they like, or a small gift related to their hobby?
The second one, obviously. You get welcome. The first one, you might get shown the door.
Precisely. The holdback device is like that thoughtful gift. It's a professional courtesy that signals respect, shows you invested effort, and demands attention through its sheer originality and relevance.
Okay, but this sounds like it requires serious creative thinking. Let's take an example. Say I'm targeting a chief technology officer, and I know their big public challenge is integrating AI into their company's old systems, sending them a general book on AI. That's not really a holdback device, is it?
Probably not. It's generic. Too easy. A real holdback device in that case. Maybe you create a custom-bound, 10-page executive brief titled something like Bridging Your Legacy Gap. 3 immediate AI hurdles for their company name and potential paths forward.
Wow. Okay, that shows serious effort. You've analyzed their specific situation.
Exactly. You're providing tailored insight before you even ask for a meeting. Or get even more creative. Maybe send a custom-made jigsaw puzzle. When it's put together, the image shows their legacy systems seamlessly integrated with new AI tech. But one crucial piece is missing.
And that missing piece represents?
The solution you provide. It's intriguing, it's visual, it's relevant. That's a holdback device.
I see. So the barrier to entry is high because it takes real work and creativity. You can't fake this easily.
That's the point. It's supposed to be hard. Anyone can send 1,000 emails. Very few can or will create 10 personalized jigsaw puzzles.
Which brings us neatly to lesson 3, right?
Yeah.
Using the actual contact campaign framework and crucially defining the device.
Exactly. The framework provides the structure. It's basically research deeply, then personalize obsessively, then deliver that personalized message using a memorable device.
The device, that seems like the linchpin here. It's the vehicle.
It's totally the vehicle. It's what ensures your message doesn't just get delivered, it makes an entrance, it lands with impact.
And a device isn't just a physical thing you mail, is it? He talks about lots of different types.
Oh, absolutely. It's much broader than just direct mail. The device is whatever carries that emotional hook, the thing that makes them stop and notice. Yes, it could be an oversized custom cartoon like he used. But it could also be, say, a full-page ad you take out in a local business journal, that specific executive reads. And the ad has a message that only they or their inner circle would really understand. Hyper-targeted.
Whoa. That's been...
Or it could be a custom video. Or maybe a physical letter arrives, but it has a QR code that leads to a highly interactive, personalized digital landing page built just for them.
So it can blend physical and digital.
Definitely. There's a great example in the book of a company that got meetings with tech execs using a visual gag. They sent a physical note that looked like someone had spilled coffee all over it.
Ah, okay. That would get my attention.
Right. It was startling, memorable. And it directly linked the mess to the cleanup solution their service provided. Clever.
So for listeners thinking about how to apply this, the device is about making the delivery itself part of the message. It's the spectacle.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe for your top target, it's not a physical thing. Maybe it's a super short, 30-second personalized video you email them. But it directly references a quote they gave in an interview last week.
Or, I don't know, you mock up a magazine cover featuring their latest company achievement, but subtly weave your solution into the headline or a sidebar.
Perfect example. It's like the difference between sending a message in a plain envelope versus, attaching it to a carrier pigeon wearing your company logo.
Okay, maybe not the carrier pigeon.
Maybe not literally, but
yeah,
you get the idea. The delivery method guarantees attention and makes it memorable.
Got it. Okay, so we picked our VIP, we figured out how to offer value first, and we've got a killer device idea, but there's still the practical reality of getting past the front lines.
Yeah.
Lesson 4 tackles the gatekeepers, right?
Yeah.
And their circles of influence.
Yes, and this is a huge mindset shift for most people. We tend to see the executive assistant, the EA, as an obstacle, a barrier to get around.
The wall.
Right. Heineke says that's completely wrong. He defines gatekeepers, the EAs, chiefs of staff, administrative crows, not as obstacles, but as crucial allies. They are potential sources of access. Your goal isn't always just to reach the VIP. Often, it's to get the gatekeepers' buy-in first.
Okay, I like that reframe. He uses that castle analogy, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's great. If the decision maker is the king or queen in the castle, the assistant is the keeper of the drawbridge.
Mm-hmm.
If you approach the drawbridge keeper with respect, acknowledge their power, and actually win them over, you don't need to try and scale the castle walls, which usually fails anyway. They can lower the bridge for you.
So it's about treating them like the professionals they are, recognizing their role.
Absolutely. The best contact campaigns actually budget time to research the gatekeepers, too. Find out their name, how long they've been with the exec, maybe something about their role.
Really? Research the assistant.
Yes. Because Heineke shares stories where the assistant was so impressed by the personalized mailer, maybe because it specifically acknowledged their hard work in managing the exec's world, that the assistant personally carried the device into the CEO's office. They became the internal champion for the campaign.
Wow. Okay, so how do you actually do that? Do you send them their own separate personalized device?
Sometimes, yeah. It might not need to be as elaborate as the main device for the VIP, but it needs to be thoughtful and acknowledge their position.
Like what?
Maybe a small, high-quality gift that speaks to organization or efficiency. Or even just a handwritten note included with the main package, saying something like, "Mrs. Jones, we know how critical your role is in managing Mr. Smith's demanding schedule, and we truly appreciate you bringing this strategic idea to his attention."
Ah, okay. So you're showing you respect the process, you respect their role, you're not trying to sneak around them.
Exactly. You respect the filter, so the filter's much more likely to let you through.
Makes sense. Okay, we've got the creative side, the gatekeeper strategy.
Yeah.
But this can't all be art, right? Lesson 5 brings in the science. Track your ROI, test, and iterate.
Crucial point. Because you're investing more time, more creativity, maybe more money per contact than just blasting emails.
Right, the cost per touch is higher.
Much higher, so the response rate has to be dramatically better to justify it. And when this is done right, Heineke shows campaigns that generated Tens of thousands of percent ROI.
Tens of thousands? How?
Because the initial investment on that personalized campaign for one VIP might be relatively small, hundreds, maybe low thousands of dollars, but the deal that results from finally getting that meeting could be massive. Millions, even.
Okay, but I see a potential challenge here. If each device is unique or highly personalized, how do you do rigorous testing? You can't easily A/B test like you do with digital ads where you have thousands of data points.
That's a really fair question. And the answer isn't broad A/B testing. Heineke specifically advises against that. The approach is micro-testing.
Micro-testing. Okay, what's that look like?
You create your campaign concept, your device idea, and you send it out to a very small group first, maybe just 5 key prospects.
Only 5.
Yeah, maybe 5 or 10. And you measure 2 things very carefully. One, obviously, is the response rate. Did they respond at all? But 2, and maybe more importantly, is the nature of the response. What did they say? What specifically did they react to?
Ah, so you're looking for what worked within the campaign. Was it the creative hook, the specific way you framed the value, the timing?
Exactly. Let's say you sent those personalized cartoon postcards to 5 CEOs. 3 respond positively. You don't just check the box 3 out of 5 responded, you dig in. Why did those 3 respond? Was it the industry-specific joke in the cartoon? Did referencing their recent award speech resonate? What was the common thread?
I see. You analyze the successes deeply.
You got it. Once you think you've identified the magic ingredient, the successful formula, then you refine that core creative idea, that message component, and you scale that refined version to your next group of, say, 20 VIPs.
So you're replicating the successful elements, not just blindly sending more stuff.
Precisely. It turns it from guesswork, from just throwing creative darts, into a series of targeted experiments. You tweak a variable, measure the result, both the contact and the feeling, and then you double down on what works.
It's like being a scientist in a lab, not a gambler at a casino.
Well put. It's the marriage of the art, the creative device, and the science, the measured, iterative testing.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the final pillar, lesson 6. This feels very relevant right now. Adapting to the virtual era. Zoom meetings, hybrid work. Does this kind of high-touch, often physical contact marketing still work when so much happens on screens?
It's a key question, and the answer is absolutely yes. But the delivery has to evolve. The fundamental principle, creating that memorable value-first reason to connect, that's timeless. That doesn't change.
So instead of the old, let's grab coffee, which might not be feasible.
Exactly. The campaign now needs to focus on sending maybe a unique multi-channel Zoom invite kit, something designed specifically to secure that digital meeting slot and make it feel important.
A Zoom invite kit. I like the sound of that. What would be in it?
Well, it could combine things. Maybe a small, intriguing physical object gets mailed to their office or even their home, something tactile.
Like what?
Could be a custom coaster with a relevant quote, or maybe a small object that's a visual metaphor for the topic you want to discuss, something to pique their curiosity.
Okay, a physical anchor.
Right. And then that's immediately followed up with a personalized email, maybe with a short video hook from you referencing the object they just received. And it all leads to the call to action, scheduling that Zoom call.
Ah, so you're coordinating the experience across channels. Physical touch point, digital follow-up, clear call to action for the virtual meeting.
You got it. You're creating a multi-sensory prompt. It generates curiosity, makes the request stand out, and makes them much more likely to say yes to that virtual meeting.
So if the world shifted from handshakes to, like, digital waves on Zoom, we just need to make our digital wave way more personalized and impactful.
That's a great way to think about it. You're personalizing the wave, so it's not just seen, it's felt and remembered. You're creating a bespoke experience before the webcam even turns on.
Yeah, Heineke's point seems to be that the core principles are solid. Whether the final conversation happens face-to-face or screen-to-screen, it's the quality of the engagement trigger that matters.
Exactly right. The medium might change, but the need for personalization, value, and creativity remains paramount.
Okay, fantastic. We've walked through the 6 pillars, which give us the big strategic picture. Now, let's try to pull this all together into a really practical, actionable plan for listeners. Let's revisit that contact campaign framework and nail down the steps.
Sounds good. First, let's just quickly recap the core definition again, because it's important. Contact marketing. It's tailored, bespoke outreach for high-value contacts. It is not mass marketing. Quality over quantity, always.
Got it. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And the specific steps to execute this.
Yeah.
That's the roadmap, right?
That's the roadmap. And it's simple on paper, but requires discipline in practice. Step 1, deep research. You got to know your target inside out.
Mm.
Step 2, radical personalization. Using that research to craft something uniquely relevant.
Step 3, the memorable device. Delivering that message in a way that demands attention.
Step 4, strategic follow-up. Not generic nagging, but a creative second touch if needed.
And all of this leading to step 5.
Yeah.
The meeting, the ultimate goal.
Exactly. And remember, underpinning all this is the gatekeeper strategy seeing assistants as allies, and the ROI tracking testing small before scaling.
Okay, that turns it from just a cool idea into something that feels like a system, a repeatable process, even if the creative output is unique each time.
That's the goal, a framework for creativity.
All right, speaking of practical systems, let's give everyone listening something they can start doing, like today. Let's distill this into 10 immediate, actionable takeaways based on Stu Heineke's work, things you can actually put on your to-do list.
Yeah, let's make it super concrete. These 10 points really represent the shifts in focus and effort that you need to make.
Okay, number 1, identify your top 10 VIPs and be ruthless about it. Pick that handful, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 max, decision makers who, if you met them, could genuinely change your business. Focus only on them initially.
And the discipline here is key. 10 means 10, not 50. If your list is too big, you won't be able to do the DUP work required for the next steps. Ruthless prioritization.
Number 2, research deeply. Go way beyond just checking their LinkedIn profile. Dig for those nuggets. What have they won recently? What personal interests slip out in interviews? What specific business challenges did their company just announce in the news?
That deep research is the fuel for everything else. It's what makes the personalization genuine. You need that ammunition for your creative hook.
Number 3, design a unique device. Based on that research, create something they won't expect. Personalized, memorable, directly tied to their world. Could be physical, visual, digital, a cartoon, a custom report. Something unique.
Number 4, frame your value first. This is crucial. Your opening move, your first sentence, needs to be about how you can help them achieve their goals or solve their problems, not about what you want from them. Lead with giving, not asking.
Number 5, engage the gatekeepers. Don't ignore the assistant. Treat them as a key professional. Research them if possible. Acknowledge their role. Appeal to them respectfully. Make them an ally.
Number 6, send only to a selected few. Fight that urge to blast this out. Start small. Send your amazing personalized device to just 5 or 10 targets first. Quality of that engagement beats quantity every single time here.
Number 7, track your results. Yes, track if they respond, but more importantly, track how they respond. What specific part of your message or device seemed to resonate? Analyze the wins.
Number 8, follow up creatively. If the first attempt doesn't get a response, don't just send a boring checking in email. Plan a second creative touch point, a different angle, a new hook. Keep it interesting.
Number 9, adapt to virtual formats. If your goal is a Zoom or Teams meeting, design your approach accordingly. Use that Zoom invite kit idea, maybe a physical piece, followed by a digital hook, to make securing that virtual meeting an event in itself.
And finally, number 10, scale what works. Once you've run your micro tests with those first 5 or 10 prospects and you've figured out which device message combo really hit the mark, then you replicate that proven formula for the next tier of VIPs on your list. Optimize and expand based on proven success.
Perfect. Those 10 steps really bring Stu Heineke's ideas down to earth, make them practical. You know, as we kind of wrap up our summary here, it feels like the book is really an invitation, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. It's an invitation to stop thinking about high-level outreach as this desperate luck-based activity and start treating it as a deliberate art form, a strategic discipline.
Yeah, the whole philosophy flips the focus. It's not about how many people you contact. It's about who they are.
Right. And it's not about what you want from them. It's about what you offer them first. That bespoke, personalized value.
So if you listening can really internalize these core ideas, focus on the few who matter, lead with value, use that personalized device, make friends with the gatekeepers, test small, measure big, you really could open doors that seemed welded shut before.
And this isn't just, motivational fluff. It's a practical framework. It acknowledges the reality that in many complex sales or partnership situations, the hardest part isn't actually making the sale or structuring the deal.
Yeah, the hardest part is just getting the first conversation started, getting past those initial layers of protection to connect with the right person.
Exactly. This gives you a creative, respectful path to do just that.
Which leads us perfectly into a final thought for you, the listener, to kind of chew on. The next time you're thinking about someone who seems completely impossible to reach, stop thinking about sending them another email and just hoping. Instead, think about designing an entire campaign just for them. like crafting a strategic gift. Something so thoughtful, so relevant to their specific world, their challenges, their interests.
That they can't help but notice it, remember it, and feel compelled to connect.
Exactly. It suggests that the quality of your tailored connection, that one perfect shot, will always, always beat the sheer quantity of your outreach attempts.
A powerful message. Thanks for joining us for this look into Stu Heineke's How to Get a Meeting with Anyone.
Yeah, we really hope these insights give you some concrete ideas for cutting through all that noise and finally landing those high-impact meetings you need. And hey, if you found this summary helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to this channel, book by book, for more deep dives into useful books like this one.
Absolutely. And please do share it with colleagues or friends who might be facing the same challenges.
Yeah, hitting that like button also really helps us out and motivates us to keep finding and summarizing the best books for you right here.